Before the start, I would like to welcome Dr. Narendra Viswanath to the interview today. Dr. Narendra is the principal at Shridevi Institute of Engineering and Technology in Tumkur. Thanks a lot for accepting the invitation, sir, and taking part in the interview. It's a pleasure to have you with us today, sir.
Thanks, Anil. It's a pleasure. Same here too. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, we'll start with the interview, sir. Firstly, sir, you've held key positions at education institutes throughout your professional career. What are the key factors that keep you connected with the education sector?
The primary key factor is probably the first thing is about my commitment to engineering education and to be with students, which in basically like from the time I graduated till date, yes, the way the technology has changed and spanned over years and how I'm able to connect with the technology. So basically like my career has taken me through the entire academics and my connectivity with students and giving back something to the society. That's what keeps me going in this sector.
Great, sir. Great to hear that, sir. And sir, being the principal of Shridevi Institute of Engineering and Technology, what is your philosophy of leadership and how would you describe your leadership style?
I think I'd probably have to quote our Prime Minister here, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, right? To be with everyone and to make sure that everyone progresses. That's the my leadership philosophy has been always that. I'm a team player. I would like to take the team with me and ensure that ultimately the goals are achieved, the mission is accomplished, and it's a win-win. That's my philosophy. I always go by the win-win philosophy. Whatever I implement, yes, has to have a consensus. There is no anarchy here. That's my concept.
Yes, sir.
And that's exactly what I've been implementing in all my 30 years of my leadership career.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Great to hear that, sir. So, being the principal of Shridevi Institute, how do you strategize about the key programs and plans for marketing and administration of your college?
Well, actually, that's a very good question in the sense that, especially the times have become very difficult. Education has become engineering education has become more of a commodity now. So obviously, it's a very tough out there. I believe in the concept, even the gold has to be sold. Yes, despite the fact that everybody loves gold, even gold has to be sold. So marketing is a thing. So unless we have the brand building exercise done, and also unless we reach out to the people, to the stakeholders about our what we have with us, what we have in store for these students. I think, that's the strategy we are using, that we are going to the students, to the stakeholders, telling them, showcasing what we have in store when the students join here and, what we can offer to them. That is the strategy that we are having in our college now.
Yes, sir. So the education system in India and other foreign countries are structured very differently. In your experience, what can an inbound student gain from studying here in your institute?
I'm very happy to tell at this point that because, there are a few things that I should share that.
Yes, sir.
My background, though I have done my basic graduation here, I did my PhD way back about close to almost 30 years ago in Canada. So I know the educational philosophy there. Then I also had the opportunity to work with a lot of people in abroad. And then recently I was in abroad doing the education, working in the education sector. So I know exactly the philosophy in which the education works there. So I've tried it or kind of, guided a lot of students who are going for their higher education abroad. And see, the way they do things is they take things on a very different note. I've always said this, because the escalation that they do from the graduation level or when they're doing undergraduation to the post-graduation is something tremendous, which we don't do here. So, but our foundation education is good, but as we build, we go on a very steady scale. But where in abroad, it's an exponential scale, and it is more so by learning by practice. It's more skill-oriented, whereas here we are more into a very rigid what I should say, kind of a packaging system where, you study this module, but unfortunately we have some lacunas probably which is getting taken care in the new national education policy that has come up now, which is a brilliant thing that has happened, which should have happened long back, but of course, better late than never. So obviously, the new, especially this particular area, we will not be able to take care of the students coming from abroad and studying here. I think that will take some time because our education system is more kind of very classroom based or material based. It is nothing where we don't give opportunity for students to explore themselves and come out with their own way of answering. So we have like a very rigid set of questions and an answer. I go slightly deviate from it, do something they won't be able to do. So that's a bit area which is a little underdeveloped area in our place.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So a follow-up question on that. How does the curriculum of Shridevi Institute ensure the best practices of industry? Because you've talked about the rigid curriculum that we have.
Well, see, that is where, again, as you rightly told, it's a follow-up question. Our curriculum, we are more bound by an affiliated system of university. So that means the university decides every 4 years the curriculum gets changed based on the, some people. But unfortunately, what happens is, because it's a huge system where all the stakeholders are not consulted, we take a sample of the stakeholders. And though there are changes happening, but only in the niche areas like computer science or electronics, a lot of changes have happened, but there are still some old domain engineering curriculum, such as mechanical or civil engineering or basic electrical. Things are still in the old fashion. We are still following that. And there are only few select areas where there is a lot of changes happening, but still they are not augmented by the, by the real practical exposure or industry relevance still is yet to come. So we have got a lot of theory built in lot of advanced theory courses, but we do not have advanced practicals or advanced projects, internships, to support them. So that means, the incubation centers, the entrepreneurship, all these things have to come. They're not there. So that is where the trouble is. Suppose if they study something on a very niche area as computer integrated manufacturing, we study the theory, but we don't know how to implement. Students don't know how to implement it still.
Exactly.
So we have finding difficulty there. So Shridevi is no exception to it. We follow the curriculum given to us by the university, affiliated university, and we follow it. And we try to help our students, providing them with expert talks, invited lectures, sending them out to industry visits and internships. That's what we're doing.
Yes, sir. So, any insights into how your college could be more welcoming to students of different races or economic backgrounds?
We already have. We have students, even international students studying here. We have students all from Northeast regions. And for that matter, Shridevi Engineering Institute is one of the institutions in the Shridevi group of institutions. So we have a multiracial ethnic campus spread over a huge campus. We have a medical college, we have nursing, paramedical, degree. So what happens is, our curriculum, there's a lot of ethnicity built into the campus. And engineering is no exception. I have a lot of students coming from North India, North Karnataka, and also from abroad.
Yes, sir. That's great to hear, sir. So what do you think your roles and responsibilities to the college and the students are?
My roles and responsibilities?
Yes, sir.
Well, probably I think the first and foremost thing is to make sure that all students are, given what we have committed them for. So that means, the commitment is the first and foremost mantra. Next is the attitude, because, unless we are committed, the vision or the mission or the quality objectives, goals would not be met. So our primary thing is what we have assured, we have to deliver. That's the primary thing. And I ensure that, that's my foremost role and responsibility is to have safe, secure, friendly campus, and then ensuring that we deliver what we have promised to the stakeholders and make their 4 years of stay here comfortable. And there is some value addition. They come as something, and then they go out after 4 years. They take with them some good memories and a holistic personality development that would have taken place. That's the whole entire administration is only that.
Understood, sir. So, what do you think should be Shridevi Institute's top priorities over next 10 years?
Oh, the first, brand building. That's the first and the foremost priority. We need to build a brand because we have very niche competition in and around. We are close to Bangalore, and in Tumkur itself, we have a couple of other premier institutes which are also our competitors. So we need to establish our own brand. we need to make sure that we are the most sought after institute in this region. Tumkur being proximity on one side, on the highway, mainly on proximity to Bangalore on one side, on the other side to the other parts connecting northern Karnataka. We want to become the major hub here. So in the next 10 years, we want to be identified as one of the most premier institutes where we are sought after. And also our goal is to implement national education policy. In the next 10 years, we want to be recognized as one of the knowledge hubs in Tumkur. That's our priority.
Understood, sir. So when you first came to Shridevi Institute, what was your vision for the institute? Has it evolved over time? And how far along in implementing that vision are you?
That's a very good question because, well, there were some ups and downs. So when I came back about a year plus ago, last year, yes, I mean, the institute was not doing that great at that point of time. So I took it over and we have started moving in the positive direction. We have improved upon, we have created that buzz in the, in and around the township here and also among the students. There is a small changes happening and I've been able to successfully convince the management about the paradigm shift that we need to focus on right now. Which was somewhere lagging because of probably the lack of leadership there. So in my opinion, from the time I have come to that right now, there's a sense of satisfaction. There's a sense of positive projections that we are seeing. That's a good sign. And if not for this pandemic, probably I would have been very, very emphatic about the achievements. But unfortunately, the pandemic has put us back a little bit.
Yeah.
I think, it's everywhere. So we are also affected equally, but we are ready to face it. So definitely there are a lot of challenges ahead of us. We have to prioritize and which we are doing right now. And it could be student retention. It could be attracting quality students, faculty, economic, financial scenario, plenty. So, but all these are kind of identified. So that's at least that part. We are very happy that all the challenges have been identified. Strengths have been highlighted and weaknesses are being identified and we are trying to overcome them. So, and we are also exploring the opportunity. So, in short, I should say that a thorough SWOT analysis has been implemented. I think that's what is working for us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, what would you like people to know about your institute that they may not know?
About 6-7 years ago, this institute was one of the leading institutes and which was sought after very much. But because of some reasons, we have gone down on that. But I would rather say that, we want to be identified as the best. We have the best of the infrastructure. We have best of the faculty committed. And we have the management, which is very highly proactive. And their vision is to ensure that quality education is given at affordable cost. And, because, that's our major motto is, Tumkur being a very semi-urban area. And here we have a lot of students coming from rural and, let us put it this way, that low urban areas. And we want to cater them. We want to upbring their families, So this institute motto is mainly to have, commitment to its stakeholders, especially the students coming from the lower strata of society.
Yes,
and and become an institution of knowledge hub for them. And our motto, our primary concern, our primary objective here is that we should be known as an educational provider with service to humanity. That's the motto which our chairman honestly puts up.
Very well put, sir. So, what do you see as Shridevi Institute's greatest strengths?
The greatest strength is dedicated faculty, the best of the infrastructure, and one of the best and the serene campuses in Tumkur. That's our strength. We have one of the best campuses.
Yes, sir. So, sir, what are some of the biggest challenges you see, both for higher education in general and for Shridevi Institute in particular?
Well, the first and the priority for the higher education in general, the lack of interest amongst our student genre as of now.
Yes.
A lot of people are only opting to go for IT related fields and non-IT related branches are seeing the backseat. There could be multiple reasons for it. There could be because our manufacturing has gone, has kind of taken a backseat, and the interest amongst people, or probably the disparity in the industry itself between the software or the IT related and the non-IT related career. the career path. There are these factors have kind of made students not to opt like the way we were doing it 35 years ago, 40 years ago when we did mechanical engineering. Everybody wanted to do civil, everybody. But today there is not that josh. You need to really go beyond words to convince people that go for mechanical, go for civil. Everybody wants computer science. I'm not telling that it's bad or right or wrong, but it's like a sheep flock mentality. People just are falling. Not everybody in CS can, become successful. Not everybody, but it's a very well-known fact. But, so that means to say that the interest amongst students is a major challenging factor. So we need to bring back that higher education, especially professional education in engineering, interest to be back. And, that's a major challenge, attracting quality students, committed students who want to do something, and become entrepreneurs or, obtain some work on some intellectual property or work in incubation. That's not happening. It's all there on the paper. That's what upsets me, or kind of I'm very, very upset about it in my entire thing that, why that thing when we studied that commitment, why it is not there today, that bothers a lot. That's a major challenge. Of course, in higher education, as well as for Shridevi, and also dedicated faculty. To get the faculty to have that satisfaction that, no, I'm a good teacher, though, we talk teaching is a noble profession, one we need to, but not everybody. So, these are all some of the minor pricks that we have in our system right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, any suggestions you would like to give to the current youth and aspiring students?
Only thing is success has no shortcuts. So, you cannot become quick rich in overnight. Success has no shortcuts. Deep commitment to whatever they do, whatever you opt for, whichever field, you need to sincerely put in your best of the efforts, and engineering is no exception.
Yes, sir.
So I keep telling to my students, work 4 years like a donkey, you will live a 40 years of horse's life. But if you become a wild horse for the first 4 years in engineering, the next 40 years you will have a donkey's life. So that means, you will not. So that means to say that one should be committed to the program that they seek for or opt for. Yes, every branch of engineering has its own equal opportunity and its own, merits and its own career growth. But it's the interest, which one you do. So the proper counseling, kind of meeting the right people, like in our institute, we are a team of professionals who sit with students, give them career counseling, guiding what kind of a background they have, whether they will be suitable for computer science, whether they are suitable for electronics. So like that, when we do and we mentor them, we train them, and whatever advices come in this way, it's the youth, the adolescent age, very difficult for them to listen. But at the end of the day, we are all there to help them out. So what I want is have the right attitude. Yes, and have the right confidence to pursue. That's my message to all my young and energetic students.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir. So how do you tend to establish a healthy relation and environment in your institute?
Of course, mutual transparency and mutual trust. These are the major two factors which are very much responsible for establishing a very cordial atmosphere in any campus. One should trust. And also because the trust forms all the basis. If I trust my faculty, if I trust my students, they will have to equally trust me, and then there is transparency. There is no hidden agenda anywhere. Whatever we are doing, is basically with a common vision, common goal, and all of us are working towards that goal. So yes, that's the environment I want in my campus. And another very important thing that is very is that everybody should have, that faith in the system. System is the ultimate. We should all believe in the system. That is a message that I want to give. I that's what is being implemented in the campus today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So these are the set of questions that I had. And apart from this, if you have anything in particular that you would want to talk about your institute or education in general, so we'll be more than happy to have that done, sir.
Okay, let me just take about 1 or 2 minutes to conclude the whole thing, in a gist.
Yes,
what I want is what I feel is currently our system of education should be more. What I say is we are teaching what we want them to learn. we are not teaching them what they want to learn. I think you got my point.
Yes, sir.
We are currently teaching what we want them to learn. Instead of that, it should become what we should teach them what they want to learn. That is not happening in our system. But our new national education policy will implement that. We'll have skill-based, we can diversify, we'll have different things. Well, the Western education is that, where when they say choice-based credit system, or when they say I have got a choice-based, the students must be at liberty to choose. I can choose a liberal arts subject, and I can choose database management system. I can choose artificial intelligence. I can choose something about dynamic. But that's not happening here. We are very rigid. I told you our thing is entirely straitjacketed. We have a strict syllabus, and also our valuations, our metric system. That's something that's not, as of now, very favorable. I am not for it, but unfortunately, because of the huge number, we are left with no other option. But actually speaking, if you decentralize like Western universities, right, every institute, that's what the new education policy will do. Eventually, like every institute will have the autonomy to grant degree. That can happen only if all of us as institutes have our common goal that, stakeholders are our primary importance, and we should, deliver what we have assured them for. I think that integrity and ethics will take some more time, but at the end of the day, good things are changing for the, thing that we are being recognized as one of the global powers today. So things are happening. But I mean, I would rather see a day as an academician that, when I walk into the class, I will teach what my students want to learn. So that means, the onus is on the person who is also the teacher to learn new things. Here, I don't learn new things because I know my syllabus. There's a 4-year syllabus given to me, and I've prepared my notes, and I teach the same thing every year. But that should not happen. Like in Western world, that doesn't happen because the curriculum changes, industry needs change, things are changing. So what happens is not only the learner is learning new things, it is also the teacher who is also learning new things to teach. So there is always that interest that gets sparked among the students. So the relationship between the teacher and the student, that's a continuously growing and strengthening day by day. It does not happen here because, the students borrow some notes from the senior, same thing, I'm glad to learn, why should I go to the class? Yeah. So, these things are there. So hopefully a day will come where I will be, seeing students, when they come to the class, they should be eager to know what exactly this man is going to teach us today, something we are going to learn new. That is not there. That has to happen. That spark has to come, that students should get that every day when they come to the class, there is something new for them in store, which is not there today. I think that's the thing I want. And there's a good saying. An electrical engineer will call somebody to change the fuse of the electric system. So that means to say that I don't teach. He's an electrical engineer, but I don't teach an electrical engineer how to change the fuse. That's because we are not practically oriented. We want more practical. We want more and more of projects. We want involvement among students. That's what I say.
Yes, sir. So hoping that it would happen in the coming future, sir. And
there is definitely hope. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The new education policies, I'm very, very happy with that. I'm one of the strongest, supporters of that policy, which has got implemented now. And this should have come long back, but but we are so happy with that. Yes, at least. May not be, of course, it won't be my children also because I got my son also, but definitely my grandchildren will have that benefit of the new national education policy. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, it's a pleasure interacting with you, sir. Once again, thank you for taking your time and then, talking to us. This has been very much informative, and I'm sure that this would help a lot of students looking for their career choices, and then this will guide them, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Anil. It was my pleasure interacting with Collegedunia. I wish Collegedunia all the best. And I think, we will also probably get a lot of benefits from you. So looking forward to working with you in future also. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, sir.